Ronnie, this is kind of crazy for me because I've seen a lot of NBA players that get pissed off at the ratings that you guys give them. So what is the process as far as rating the NBA players?
Yeah, I mean, in the modern era, it used to be a little bit different. Now, the last, I want to say like 10-ish years, it's been an all-time historic rating. So, like, you're in there. Obviously, NBA players over the years have been in there. It's up to the 99, 95, 96. Michael Jordan's the only 99 in the game from an annual perspective. But there's like 30 some odd, mini attributes that go into it. Some of it's physical, field goal percentage, free throw percentage. There's no argument about those, right?
Yeah.
And then some of them are, off the core IQ, awareness, things that are a little bit less tangible. Those get put into one big formula and they spit out a number, and that number is not subjective at all, and it's created a lot of frustration over the years. But it's great because like I get it, like the NBA players have been competitive their entire lives, and this is now a game in its 26th installation that like this is all they've played their whole life, this is all they know, know. And so for us to be in a spot, with them where it means so much. I mean, it's like, it's so strange because like I've heard it mean more than like all NBA teams and stuff like that. You get paid for all NBA teams. You don't get paid anything for a rating, right? But it really does mean a lot to these guys because it's another thing that they can compete against their peers with. Right. And you know what's funny? Like, even though you guys visually see them complain about the rating, what they're really complaining about is how they stack up against somebody in their own position. That's the conversation that they're having, and that's the conversation they usually have with me. It's like, how could you have this shooting guard over me who plays shooting guard, That's usually where they get a little hot.
Can you tell us the craziest story about somebody complaining? You don't have to tell us who it is.
I mean, there's a million of them, right? Like,
who's the craziest story? Tell us the craziest story. Someone complaining about their rating.
I mean, I go back to the Klay Thompson thing a couple of years ago just because, like, it was so shocking in a way because, so here I am, it's 3 a.m, I'm in bed. He's doing a exhibition shooting contest with Steph Curry in Japan. And at 3 a.m, my phone's blowing up, and I'm like, what is going on? And basically, like, in the middle of this exhibition, he had a post interview that he won. He beat Steph and, their local celebrities and players that were involved. And he had 2K on his brain, and he called me out in kind of a really aggressive way. And this kind of took a life of its own. We had some fun with it. I've known Klay for a long time. He actually lives in Tiburon, which is where I used to live. And we used to, going to Bay Area games, I'd hang out with him all the time. I actually saw him a couple weeks after this whole thing, and at Steph's SI, Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year banquet. And I was like, Klay, what was that? And all he could talk about was like our good old times, like hanging with Harrison and Festus. Like, I just got married a few weeks before that. And he's like, oh, I saw the wedding pictures, like amazing. I'm like, so where'd your mind go to with this rating thing in the middle of the night? And it's crazy that, we live rent free in these guys' heads on something that's so not trivial. It's not trivial, but it's like these guys are getting paid millions of dollars, $50 million a year to play basketball. But this is what they're concerned about, which is awesome.
Have
frankly.
you guys ever gone back and changed a player's rating?
Nope.
No, never.
Simple as that.
So once it's set in stone.
No, so it changes over the course of the year, but not because of like, we're not going to change it because somebody's frustrated. We've done a couple things that were kind of innovative and cool. So like we had this show, but it was this thing with Bleacher Report, and we had a few athletes go do contests to prove something. So like Carl Towns, who's a good buddy of mine, he was like, he always had an issue with how we rated his full court passing ability, like his outlet passes, just such a small like thing, but like he was like, I should have it better than a bronze badge in that. I'm really good at it. So we've set up this obstacle relay course and like had him prove it out. That's like just good marketing, right? But like he passed it with flying colors, and we bumped his badge up, like, but nothing's gonna give us more obviously information than what they do on the court. And what I mean by that is like during NBA games when the sample size really matters.
Right.
I mean, like,
we
got a lot of heat about Bronny's rating, right? I mean, obviously the volume around Bronny this offseason for a guy that was late second round is crazy. Like, I mean, but obviously fully expected. His father is the second best player in NBA history. Sorry, Byron.
You said the second best player in the NBA.
Yes.
I'm not going to even ask you. Yeah, I am going to ask
who
you.
number one is.
Okay. Okay, who is number one? I want you to say it. Okay.
Michael, come on.
Okay, there you go. Okay. All right.
So Bronny obviously hasn't had a ton of sample size even in college, obviously with the heart condition. So to get him on the court in real games, that's when he's going to be able to move his rating, right? I mean, there's so many instances. Like Giannis was I think he was like a 61 when he came into the league, 14th pick. Not a lot of sample size for us in America. You know, coming from
I think he's at 97 now, is he not?
A foreign player, yeah. He's the third highest rated player in the game. Actually, all 5 are international players. Luka was another guy, 59 when he was first in our game, 59.
Wow.
And now he's a 90. He's a 97 as well.
97.
And then, I mean, look, we're not the only ones that were wrong, right? Like Jokic was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial, and he is the highest rated player in NBA 2K25. But it's amazing what this means to these guys and the conversation it's struck, and it's great for our fans too to get involved and have fun. But we need to see it. Like it's all about a sample size of playing basketball in the NBA. These guys define their own ratings. You know, we have a formula, and they can make it happen if they want a higher rating.
Well, I'm not going to dispute the number 1 player in the history of the game that you think is number 1, but I am going to dispute the number 2. I'll just say that.
Really?
Right. Yes. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But I'm gonna just say that.
Who's number 2?
I'm gonna leave it at that, Ronnie. But I'm gonna just say that. We'll come back to that a little bit later.
Gold over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
You know. Yeah. Okay. But anyway.
I got you. You don't need to say anymore.
But anyway, so the process. What is the process as far as getting a player on the cover? What do you go through to figure out who is the guy that you want to put on the cover?
To me, it's 3 things. It's 1. Are they on an appropriate trajectory, right? Like that doesn't mean that you have to be the best player in the league. Jason was, the first guy that had won a title the year that before he was on the cover. Since Steph back in 2K16, right? Yeah. So it's more of a trajectory thing. A lot of the guys win the championship the year that they're on the cover, the full year. Sorry, that's a little confusing, but so that's number 1. Number 2 is, do they have a marketing story with themselves that aligns with what we're trying to tell, whether it's in the game or whatnot? I see that Devin Booker one right there.
Yeah.
MJ was on our Legend Edition one there for 23, partly, but also because it was the greatest year, and he won on the ESPN Players Tournament, Devin did, to be crowned the greatest 2K player. Yeah. So we put him on the cover along with MJ on the other one.
Thank you for watching Byron Scott's Fast Break. If you like what you saw, here's some more videos. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.